Well, hello there, my friend. Welcome aboard to the Daily Message here with Jonathan Doyle. I am so pleased you are here. Please make sure you've subscribed, hit that big subscribe button, and let's get into it. I finished earlier this week another book. I've had a big week on books. I think I finished 3 books this week. My family can normally find me hiding somewhere with a book, and I love it, always have. I mean, reading has just had such a massive role in my life for many, many years. I know not everybody does it, but I'm just getting really disciplined on concentration and trying to make sure that I get through some really quality material each day. So I just finished an interesting book called The Courage to Be Happy. It's the follow-up to a very famous book that came out, I think, in 2013. It was called The Courage to Be Disliked. Courage to Be Happy. Both of these books are kind of based on the psychological principles of Alfred Adler. I've been a really big fan. I've come to Adler very late in life, but I find his work really interesting. He was an associate of Sigmund Freud, and then he eventually split off with Freud. So there's kind of the big three. There was Freud, there was Carl Jung, and then there was Alfred Adler. And these guys obviously had a huge impact on psychology in different ways. But Adler I just find really interesting. It's more of a humanist philosophy. It's kind of very human-centered. I think it's quite optimistic and quite bright, at least what I've discovered of it so far. But I wanted to give you one insight from the book which had a really big impact on me. It was like being hit between the eyes. He talks about how most people, when they go into counseling or they're seeking some kind of therapy, it's like a triangle. And he says if people are sitting on one point of this triangle, right? So you're sitting on one point of the triangle, you can see the other 2 points. And his theory is that many people come into therapy or they approach life maybe where they can see these 2 points. What are these 2 points? One is poor me. Poor me is on one point, and on the other point is that terrible person. What this means is, he said that many people approach life with the idea of poor me. So it's one end of the triangle. It's the victim mentality. It's something terrible happened to me. Somebody did something, said something, whether it was yesterday, this morning, or 50 years ago. And because of that, I can never get where I want to be in life, right? It's like this kind of poor me mentality. And I don't want to trivialize people's suffering because I know it's very real, but I just found it really interesting. I think a lot of us do that. And the other point is that bad person, which means we can do victim status by saying that we can't grow because of all of these limiting reasons. And we always want people to understand those reasons, right? We always want people to agree with us and go, oh, that's really terrible. Now, I gotta be careful here because we need empathy. We need friendship and community and relationships. And we do need to be able to share our burdens with people. But I think you know what I'm getting at, right? It's this idea of woe is me. I can never get where I want to get. Or somebody did something to me, this bad person. My life would be so much better if my wife, my boss, my kids, my dog was better to me, right? So both of those give away our power. And you see, for Adler, the crucial thing was self-reliance, not like self-absorption or narcissism, but a deep maturity of self, a self-reliance. And you don't get to self-reliance if you spend your life living in poor me or you spend your life living in that bad person. So, crucially, the third leg of the triangle, the one that had the big impact on me, was simply this: what do I do from now on? I think it's a really powerful sort of triumvirate, a triangle of meaning: poor me, that bad person, or you choose the idea of, well, what do I do now? I thought that was just extraordinary. I thought it was really quite a powerful insight. What do I do now? How do I go forward in life? How do we move forward? So I'm sitting with this one. I'm just going to let this soak in for a few days. I think it's got a lot to offer us. I think it definitely a lot to offer me. What would your life be like if you completely gave up on the any woe is me, poor me, or if you gave up on giving your power away to somebody else, that bad person, and no matter what has happened to you in life, you just said to yourself, what do I do from now on? And that gives you a lot of power back, right? What do you do from now on? No matter what loss you've faced, no matter how difficult life's been, no matter how many times you've failed, what are you going to do next? That's the question. Please make sure you've subscribed. Check out the links below. I'm going to have another video for you tomorrow.